Hi, I'm Hannes, and welcome to my happy place. This is where I go to make sense out of the world sometimes. So I've had this thought, and it's been on my mind for some time, with all the events that are happening in the news right now, with mass shootings and ISIS cells causing problems. My thought is this: there is a guy walking around right now. Could be watching this video. I don't know. I don't know who this guy is. But he's a dead man walking. 6 months from now, he's going to be dead. He's going to get killed by some homicidal maniac, whether they are a self-avowed terrorist or whether they're just some crazy guy who, with anger management issues, who wants to take it out on the rest of the world. It doesn't matter, really. It doesn't matter at all what's going to cause it. But he's going to die. He's going to die. He's going to be afraid. He's not going to know what to do. And it's going to be an awful experience. And here's the thing. If you or I could talk to this guy, let's say we could get in touch with him, right? We could call him on the phone or communicate to him. Say, look, here's what's going to happen. 6 months from now, you're going to be somewhere, I don't know where, maybe a restaurant, maybe a movie, maybe at a concert, I don't know what. But someone's going to murder you and a whole bunch of people around you. I just thought you ought to know. How do you think his life is going to change? You think he's going to do something different? Do you think he's bound to that destiny now that he's got the knowledge of it? These are big questions. We'll leave them for philosophers. Well, I guess I'm a little bit of a philosopher, but not that much. So the question is, what if that guy is you or that girl? I'm going to use the term guy because being gender neutral is too complicated on my aged brain. But what if it's you? I mean, what if it's me? It can't be me, it has to be you because it's some other guy, right? Everybody believes it's not going to happen to them. But what if it's you? Because I can't promise you it's not. In fact, I'm not saying I'm going to be some big YouTube sensation or something, but there's a chance that the person that needs to be talked to is watching this video right now. And here's what I'm going to tell you, because you're that person. What I'm going to tell you is, it doesn't have to be that way. There's a little bit of fate involved in life, but ultimately, you can control your own destiny. Ultimately, you can change that day, because that murderer, whatever he is, terrorist, call him what you want, they're a murderer, plain and simple. He wants your fear, he wants to control your life, he wants your submission. He's counting on the fact that you don't think it's going to happen to you. And quite frankly, if you even slightly suspect it could happen to you, you don't have to give it to him. You don't have to. It's going to be a choice from this point forward in time. Because let's look at an example. The Aurora, Colorado theater shooting, crazy guy, whatever. Insane anger management. Don't really care what his motivations are. They're irrelevant, really. What is relevant is that there were people in that theater who are cowering. And now, I wasn't there. I mean, I don't know exactly what transpired. But the news reports I keep hearing are people saying, it was horrible, there were pieces of brass hitting me. Now, I don't know if you're a gun person or not, but based on the weapons he was shooting, that brass couldn't have been thrown more than, well, just typically really any weapon, 15 feet max. 15 feet. And he's wearing a gas mask, so he's got limited peripheral vision. He may or may not have had body armor on. It doesn't matter. The point is, people died there who maybe could have stopped him. Now, I'm not saying we all got to go out and be Rambo or whatever, but if I give you a choice, right? Sit there, cover somebody with your body while this guy murders both of you, or charge him. What isn't a good idea about that? You're going down either way. Try and take him with you. Because if 3 people decide to do that at the same time, he doesn't stand a chance. He might get one person, and I mean, that's sad. It's a tragedy, but it's a reality. He already got that guy anyway, or girl, or whatever, right? He already got that person. Whether they took action to change their life or not, they met the same fate. But the other two, they might have survived, right? People like this, whether they're terrorists or whether they are shooters, they want the headlines. They want the body count. They're not even going to be alive when the body count comes in. They want fame based after their death. It's the most irrational thing ever. How can you motivate a person like that? Well, let me tell you something. If that body count wasn't so high, let's say the Aurora shooting, 2 people killed instead of, I don't even remember the number, but it was way too many. Wouldn't have been as encouraging for the next guy, would it? Especially if the headline said, would have said something like, man attempts mass shooting in theater and is stopped. That does not encourage the next guy. Okay? And, we can talk about the media wanting to control the media and say, hey, you shouldn't report this way. But they're reporting it that way because that's the most interesting way it happened. You can make it more interesting if you change the story. Don't give them that story about everybody cowering and dying. Give them the story about making a difference. Maybe you're not a fighter. Maybe you're not able. Maybe you don't have, the personality to be a gunfighter or to dive tackle the guy or whatever it is you got to do. But there's other things that can keep the body count down. You can learn basic first aid for trauma. It doesn't take that long. You can learn enough trauma to save lives from gunshot and stab victims in an afternoon. You can carry just some simple first aid stuff. I can put together a trauma kit that'll fit in my back pocket. In fact, I've got one now, even though I'm in the middle of nowhere. But you can carry that, and it doesn't cost you much. It doesn't weigh much. Forget about it. Put it in your pocket. But on that day, when you are that person in that theater or wherever, you can save someone who might be bleeding out, right? Or you can just have enough situational awareness that when things get weird, you start ushering people to safety. Now, sometimes, it's not always going to work like this. And it's not a perfect world, and sometimes you're just going to get surprised, and that's all it's to it. But maybe you won't. In any given situation, there are some people who are just plain unlucky. The rest of them make their own luck. Maybe you can make a difference. Save a few lives. Get some people to safety. Be the first guy to call the police to reduce the response time. Whatever it is you can do, go do that thing. Learn how to do it. Be in good enough shape that you can sprint. You can run hard for, it doesn't have to be more than 50 feet, but make sure you can do it. Whatever it is you can do, you do that thing. And that way when the police show up and the paramedics show up, it's not such a disaster. So, and I wish I could be there to do it for you. I wish I could be there, but we don't hang out. I probably don't even know you. Wish I did. I'm sure you're a wonderful person and everything, but I don't. So it's up to you. It's like Smokey the Bear, right? Remember from the old, I don't know if they still do them or not, but only you can prevent forest fires. Well, that's the way it is. It's only you. You are the only one, not the other guy watching the video. You watching the video right now, the person who's watching this, is the only person that can do it. Sorry to get all intense on you like that, but that's the truth of it, really. Either you can accept the fact that it's not going to happen to you, or accept the idea that it's not going to happen to you. Yeah, you're probably right. Or you can take some precautions, and you can make your own luck. So make that decision. And if you want some help with what to do once you've made that choice, come talk to us at the school.